One of the great things about my job is that I get to meet new people every day, and every day someone comes in that surprises you.
Right, boy.
Can't park there, mate.
No, I can't, but I will. So, there we are.
So rebellious.
Rebel without cause, to be honest.
But with a car.
And, well, is it a car though, really? It's not a Jag, is it?
It's definitely your car.
Definitely my car. Definitely like, is that Ian's car?
I could spot you in a traffic jam, and I did.
You did, you saw me once. Beautiful.
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 Come and take a seat.
Take a seat. How are we, sir?
Good.
Lovely. It's a lovely day.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, lovely.
Oh.
Usual.
Got to do the before and after shot, as always.
Of course, yes.
Standard.
Social media.
Social media king.
What do you want me to do? Button.
Haircut. Oh, yeah.
Is there a time when you don't do social media?
No, when I'm sleeping.
Well,
a little bit.
Sometimes I've seen you.
Can't see a thing now.
I've seen you sleeping on social media as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there we are. So. Share everything.
Why do you like social media so much?
I don't know. It's just always been part of what I do. Like I feel it's very natural. I don't feel I'm trying to be anybody or trying to.
Well, you're not anybody else.
No, but some people put on like a persona or like a. Yeah, they can pretend. Yeah, there's a lot of like filters and all that. Whereas I just kind of like it a mix of personal and business.
Yeah.
It's not everybody's taste. It's not my wife's taste. She likes to be as private as possible. So, yeah.
Well, that's all right as well, isn't it? Because it's just interesting. Because ever since I've known you, you've always been like very, very active on social media. I mean, you're very good at it.
Sometimes when you post stuff, you kind of forget, and then when I'm at a show, people will be like, "Oh, I saw that," or they'll relay it to you, and you're like, "Oh, yes, I."
People actually look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that as well sometimes, where I post
forget.
something and they go, "Oh, I saw that on Instagram," or "I saw that on social media," and I go, "Oh, people actually look at that, do they? That's like a real thing." Some people sometimes have to have a bit of downtime from it because they get anxiety, but I haven't seen that with you. Is that not something that happens with you?
I think if you get into the game of like chasing likes and well, that post isn't performing enough, so I need to hide how many it doesn't matter. Like it's not real. Like it is real, but it's not real. Like it is what it is. When I first started the business, like there was only Facebook, and then literally a friend of mine went. She was a librarian when I was a teacher. She was like, "Oh, you like talking about yourself and posting photos, so Instagram is definitely your thing. Yeah, definitely you'll like that because you like posting photos and whatever." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like it's something I'd like."
People forget that it's not like Instagram isn't that old, really.
Yeah, because it was Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
So Twitter, my main thing was built around Twitter to start off with, and then went on to Instagram. But I'm not trying to be a TikTok creator.
Well, going back to what you were saying about, you're just trying to be yourself. You're not trying to be anybody else. And there's something about we've sort of said to people before about like having anxiety and online and social media is definitely an anxiety prone thing where you don't seem to get that. But I think there's an authenticity to you're just putting it out there, and like I follow other barbers, but I don't really look at what other barbers do, and that's not a disrespectful thing. Yeah. It's just you don't like to measure yourself against.
And there's some artists. There's other.
Yeah, but there isn't anybody like you.
But there's other automotive artists who are in a similar sphere of being at events or being.
But they don't paint with tyres.
No, that's true.
Because nobody does that. Why would anyone do that? That's a stupid idea.
Yeah, when I started doing it in 2007, it seemed, it was a flip, from a flippant comment, that's how it.
What do you mean a flippant comment?
So my then girlfriend said to me, she bought me a radio control car of Lightning McQueen, and she said to me, "Don't take it down the studio and don't get paint on it." So
you were painting before?
Yeah. So I've got so I've got a BTEC National in illustration, and then I've also got a BA Hons in fine art painting. So I've got the tight, accurate stuff, the drawing side of it, illustration. And then the ideas-led more kind of contemporary art stuff. That's based on, from my fine art training.
What jumps from painting to actually driving a tyre through and actually going, oh, well, I can still make a car out of that?
Because that is mad. That is mad.
Yeah, so I mean, what I found was I was a teacher, and I was teaching them.
Were you a good teacher?
I was really good at talking about myself a lot of the time.
Well, doesn't Maslow say that teaching is like something like 20% knowledge and 80% theatre?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, like when you've got 30 kids, you are the person in charge. Of course, you put on an element of theatre, and then you've got to be funny. You've got to be the stern adult. When you're doing a 3-hour session split up into 2 hour and 15.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
That's a long time.
To keep people on track and entertain. Like you've got to keep them entertained. You've got to have ideas. When you've got to keep going, I don't know what to do. I don't know. So you've got to come up with ideas on the spot, or like, right, do this. I taught life drawing, which was, that was fun. Yeah. It was fun. It was just fun. I mean, I used to go around and just like throw ink over the students' paper, just to put a ground down and say, like, right, that's what you're painting on now.
Like a bully.
Yeah, like an authoritative bully. Yeah, within reason. When I left uni, I left with a first class honours, so I was like, oh, I've got a first class honours, I'm great. And then I came home and my mum and dad were like, you need to get a job. And whilst I was at uni, I was a barman.
So how old are we now?
So I did uni for me was 18 to 21, and I left when I just turned 21.
That is young.
Yeah. So in that time I went out, whilst I was at uni, I went to Latvia for 3 months, and that was a massive learning curve.
Why did you go to Latvia?
Because I applied to go to America and they didn't have the funding, so I went to Latvia instead.
And that's not your first excursion with America, is it?
Okay, all right. No, not allowed in.
Not allowed in anymore, are you? Why is that? What happened there?
Because I'd twice been in on just ESTA, on just like the tourist visa. When I tried to go into Detroit, which is not a touristy place, you go to Detroit to work. The Detroit man in the passport office place didn't like me going in, so he stopped me from going in and detained me for several hours and then put me back on a plane at gunpoint, which was fun.
I would pay to have seen that.
Yeah, well, and then I didn't have my passport because they didn't.
Was that on social media?
No. I was in the detention bit and I screenshotted my phone because I wrote it as a note on my phone. And I screenshotted it, and it made the kind of the camera noise, like the noise, and the man was really angry. And he was like, "If you want to be detained, if you want me, I can lock you up right now." And I was like, "No, sorry." And then I remember this other.
Where was he from?
It was like Detroit.
Bradford.
Yeah.
So if you could go anywhere in the world to do what you do, where would you most want to go?
I mean, I loved California. California was wicked.
Like a bohemian artist.
Oh, it's so cool. So there's a helmet painter, like a bike helmet painter called Troy Lee. I think it's Troy Lee, yeah. And Trolley, yeah. He paints Ken Block's helmet, who Ken Block is the race rally driver. And I remember walking in it because it was a bike store, so it had like a motorcycle in the front of it. And the lady behind the counter, I walked in and she was like, "Good night, like, how you doing?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "From Wolverhampton." Of all places, she was from Wolverhampton.
I think one of the things that I was most impressed with about you was that when we were all locked down, I couldn't cut hair. And then every time Instagram lives were like a line across the top of Instagram. Everybody was doing them.
Yeah.
And I would look and I was going, "Oh, is Ian on twice a day? Same time every day?" And I quite liked that. And I often used to tune in just to kind of annoy you. And some of the people you got on, it was kind of like, "How's he got that person on?" And then you said, "Well, they're not busy."
They weren't, literally.
And it had never occurred to me that they're not busy.
If you want to get hold of race drivers and stuff, they weren't racing. I think part of what I've always done, or what I've worked out, is that the worst somebody can say is no. If they say no, fine, okay, move on. I'm not going to cry about it.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Really. I mean, you had Charlie Borman on there, and I was like, "Oh, wow, Jan Borman's son." I was like, "Oh, that's amazing."
But that's what's quite nice about the job, is that there's stories, and you go, "Oh yeah," and that happened.
Because you're different to me. I mean, I always say to people, I'm at Fargo in Coventry. This is where they keep me, you know. But you're kind of almost the opposite, where I don't have events around me. You go to events and.
Yeah, then I try and bring events in as well. So yeah, we're doing Dub Club and kind of the classic car stuff, and I try and bring. What I love about it is it's a community of people. That's for me. That's what it's about. Is that I interact with so many different people, and so in terms of car ownership, there's so many. There's classics, there's modern, there's modified, and all of those people have a different story to tell. And I think that's, for me, that's a really important part, is that people will buy, invest, own these things because it's a story of why they do it.
So if you could produce any artwork, whether it's continuous car or a painting, or because I've seen you do stuff like, I'm sure I saw you on BBC Breakfast one morning when I was trying to eat my breakfast, and you turned up on the side of a building somewhere. What is the thing you said, that is the thing I would never done that I would love to do? I would love to do that. What is the...
For me, it's like, okay, if I look, if I kind of sum up 16 years and go, yes, got Guinness World Record.
Hang on, what?
Well, it's when I painted with a real car. So for Nissan, I painted the world's largest glow-in-the-dark artwork with a real car. That was about 2015. So it was a year before I came to Fargo. So
you're in the Guinness Book of World Records. Is that still?
No, got beaten, I think.
Did you?
Yeah. But these things happen. I've got a certificate still, which is yeah. So I've done stuff for F1. I've done Le Mans a couple of times, which is super cool.
So what would you want to do then? What's the thing you haven't done that you'd say, it could be anything in the world. It doesn't have to exist. What would you love to do? What
I'd love to do is to get a billboard, like a billboard is one of my things I haven't got yet.
Right.
That's what I'd like. More kind of car wraps, vehicle wraps, they're always fun to do. But yeah, I think it's always, there's always like more to do, but then sometimes you've got to reflect and go, right, I've done all right, I've been able to be a commercial artist for 16 years.
I mean, it's pretty amazing considering no one else does what you do, really. Is there anyone that does anything similar?
No. Yeah, whether drawing or painting, I mean, that's the thing, is that you've got to have a USP. You've got, whatever you do, it's a bit like in here, isn't it? People come in here because it's a relaxing environment. It's not just a standard barbers, is it? People come here for an experience.
Yeah.
And that's,
I like to think so, but I don't know whether that actually happens.
Yeah, fact, yeah. And also you've built your brand around an identity, and that's what people invest in. And
it's not a good idea.
Yeah, but what I really like is that so I do stuff in touring car, and you also cut Tom Ingram's hair, who's a touring car driver, but you had no idea, and I really like that.
We talk about DIY.
and I was like, you've just cut, the now British touring car champion's hair, and you're like, oh, did I? I just thought he was doing his house up.
Yeah, he is doing his house up. So what have you got left for this year then? Because you don't do as many shows in the winter as the summer.
Well,
is that right?
Yes, I've got a bit of a backlog to get through.
What does that mean?
That means I've got...
You means you've not been pulling your weight?
I've not been working hard enough, yes. But that's what I was doing.
Is that difficult though? Because the only person that motivates you is you. That can't be easy.
I think I've always been quite good at just kind of knuckling that. I'm the most unmanageable person. My wife would say that quite. Is that I'm quite bad at timescales as well. Apart from when I need to paint an artwork in a day, I know I have to do that. So I'm like, right, crack on, get it done.
So somewhere in your really bad time management skill, you've got this element of you that is going like a survival instinct, almost going, I have to get that done.
Yeah.
I have no choice.
Obviously, my brother is dyslexic, dyspraxic, and various things. I've never been like tested, but I probably am mildly dyslexic, and I probably have elements of. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and some of them go, "Oh, yeah, it's like Diary of the CEO with Stephen Bartlett," and like, yeah, you find a lot of creatives are on the autistic, dyspraxic spectrum.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's things that creative things they find really, really easy, but when you start putting order and stuff in, they find it really, really hard. And I'm like, a little more I listen to it, I go, yep, that's me, yep.
I think that's something maybe in the school system that they don't pick up on.
When I was at school, I couldn't do any of my exams in the hall. I had to be put into the special, what they call the special needs unit, because I couldn't even walk into the hall because I couldn't take that kind of order. I couldn't sit at a desk with hundreds of others because it just freaked me out.
Well, that's good that they did that.
They knew I wasn't messing about because I was really good at art. Like I'd excel in art. That's the only thing I'd excel in. Everything else I passed. Not because I didn't want to or didn't try. I just found tests, and when you put me in a test situation, I still find it really hard. Like, yeah, I failed my driving test 3 times because it was called a test. My head goes, you're gonna fail, you're gonna fail, you're gonna fail.
Why does it do that?
Don't know. Can't explain it.
I think that's true of a lot of people, because I'm a bit like that. I was a bit like that when I was young. But that was because all the teachers told me I was a load of old rubbish. But it was the 70s, that's what they did.
Yeah. Pre-70s, wasn't it? Yeah, kind of.
1870.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get that in.
But it happens to a lot of creatives. Yeah, a lot of creatives are, yeah, when you're a teacher like you were, you'll know that you have these certain learning programs. Some people are going to be kinesthetic learners, some are going to be through writing, listening, certain ways of doing it, and I'm very much kinesthetic, so it's a practical way of...
You've got to do it.
Yeah, got to do it to...
It's good that you know that. A lot of people don't. I mean, I think it's true of creatives as well, that, you know, a lot of people kind of get put to the sidelines because it's not necessarily... It's better now, but not necessarily an academic thing, but in reality, we're all very different and we can all kind of succeed at something. Just got to find out what it is. But yeah, creatives for sure. Well, love, I think we're looking nice. We're looking nice. You can't see a thing.
Can't see a thing. Blind as a bat. So put my glasses on so you actually see. I mean, is that the best you can do, I presume?
Yeah.
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 That's the best you can do.
Like I say, I don't compare myself to other barbers. Like we said at the start.
Yeah. Well, if that's the best you can do, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
I'll even get a photo to finish.
Oh yes, the social media, of course.
Yeah.
So more social media, more art?
Pretty much. That's what I do, isn't it?
That's how you roll.
That's how I roll.
You, sir, are done.
Done.
In so many ways.
Lovely. Been a pleasure, as always.
Oh, absolutely, always. Can you move that car now?
Absolutely.
Because it's
straight away. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure as always.
I'd like to say the same.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Sounds like you're doing a whittle.
Everybody needs a break.
It's gone to the corner to do. Lovely, thank you very much. Freshly brewed.